We heard quite a lot about immigration today. Last week, or earlier this month, we had figures that showed that Glasgow in Scotland has had the lowest birth rate, and we've got the highest population of over 75s that we've ever had. Do we not need more immigration, not less?
There's a confusion but when it comes to immigration, we're speaking about illegal migration, which is the big issue that we've always spoken about. The essence of my speech today is on the number of asylum seekers and refugees who come to Glasgow and make it their home. So you're right, we need good, skilled immigration, absolutely. That's what the is always back. There's visa routes that we've had in our manifestos to say that people who work in Kerr, for example, should come over to be able to give assistance. So absolutely, but what we need to try and do is find a way of making sure we fix the local connection road to make sure there's houses. As I said in my speech, you guys in the Glasgow Times reported that it takes now up to 100 years for a family of 3 to get a social house in Glasgow. So why do you think people aren't having kids? Because they can't get houses properly. So let's try and fix that issue without trying to, bus in people and loads of other people in different countries. So there's a big difference between illegal migration and illegal migration.
So are asylum seekers legal or illegal migrants?
Many of the people who are coming to Glasgow as asylum seekers are coming here from bogus claims, coming from the English Channel and coming up because Glasgow is a dispersal city. I would call those people illegal migrants. I'd actually call them economic migrants, which is why they're doing it. They're then claiming asylum and travelling to Glasgow as a dispersal city. So to me, the people who are coming and claiming bogus asylum claims are not right, and it's not real asylum seekers.
So the people who've got in hotels who are homeless, they're people who have had positive decisions on the leave to remain. So they're legal.
Well, they're under the refugee part, so that comes down to, once again, the point I was making when it comes to Glasgow being a dispersal city and the local connection. What's happening when people get around to leave to remain is the Home Office is up through, as many people are coming to Scotland because of the local connection, they're declaring themselves as homeless, then getting housed straight away, which doesn't happen in other parts of the UK. That's part of the thing that I spoke about today, and it's one of the things I've said in the manifesto we want to try and fix, is that local connection. I'm not saying that every single person that comes to Glasgow is not welcome, but there's a report in the Times that said that there's 20 refugees per week coming, and the vast majority of those people are young, working-age men from countries that we don't know. There's no known nationality because documents have disappeared, so we don't know who these people are or why they're here. So there's 2 issues separately, the asylum crisis and the refugee crisis, that we need to try and fix in Glasgow.
Okay, there's a lot of that language we heard today about young fighting-age men coming here. We also heard that reform is the people's army. We heard about safety of women and girls. Do you think some of that language could be inflammatory and could be inciting violence?
I don't think so. I think that what we're talking about is the passion and the drive that people like me and others have for our working class communities have been left behind. When I say we're in a people's army, it's about trying to get the democratic right of people to be listened to in Glasgow. People who have not been listened to for a long, long time, have been forgotten. You go to Easter House, Shettleston, Drumchapel, Castlemont, you'll meet people who have not voted for generations because they feel as if their vote doesn't matter. We're trying to stand up for those people, so that's why we say we're going to fight the political establishment. That's why we say we're a people's army. It's not about violence. I don't want violence. I don't accept violence anywhere. But it's about trying to say we are a people's army with passion and drive for our working class communities.
So when we're speaking about young men of fighting age, that's not intended to instill fear in the people of Glasgow?
That's the factual reality of young men. The vast majority is that the Times article showed, the data has shown from the Glasgow City Council, 20 refugees per week. It is young fighting age men. That's what the stats show. I'm not making that up. That's there if anybody wants to go and see it. That is the reality of what.
Are there not also young working age men that we can put into good use?
They're not working as
but a lot of them are not allowed to work.
Well, but if they're on leave to remain, they could be then starting to. So, but that's the point. They could be going to work, but many of them, we've heard from Nigel and Malcolm today, aren't working. They came to the country illegally, then got their refugee status accepted, and then are sitting on benefits. That's not acceptable. It's not the way that Glaswegians want to see their city run. So I think it's only right that we speak about that issue.
Yeah. Are you going to be the lead candidate for the regional list? Or has that been decided yet?
I have no idea. We'll find out next week.
I thought we were going to be told today.
No. So we find out today constituencies. I think it's next week the list. So
right.
I'm standing in Shettleston and Baillieston, which has always been my priority. We'll see what happens.
And you have been selected as a candidate for Shettleston
and Baillieston.
And Baillieston.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks very much, Thomas.
Okay.
Thank you.